think you're on mute, Steve. It's a strong start.
That's great, isn't it? I was getting really carried away. I even introduced myself wrong. Hi, it's Steve and Jamie talking ball. It's Wednesday whip, and it's bringing this to you on. Is it the 10th today? Yeah, 10th of August. Wow, this year is going
10th.
fast.
Yeah, flying.
Flying, absolutely flying. Joe's away, so we're going to dive into the headlines. It's going to be a short show this morning, so apologies if we don't get around to your questions, but feel free to throw all the markets you want us to take a quick technical look at, and we'll try and get to those. If not, we'll try and get to them a bit later. So we're going to start off with the headlines, and we're looking at US consumer confidence. IBD consumer confidence index dipped to 38.1 from August from 38.5 previously, which was below consensus of 40. That doesn't look good. That's the US consumer confidence. So that's remaining pretty depressed. Strong increase in US labor costs. Provisional data for the second quarter registered a decline in US productivity at an annual rate of 4.6% after a 7.4% decline previously, with a 10% increase in unit labor costs from 12.7% previously. Although the data is liable to be revised considerably over the next 2 months, there will still be important concerns surrounding underlying cost pressures. The latest US consumer prices data will be released on Wednesday, and will have an important impact on interest rate expectations and currency markets. Consensus forecast of the headline rate to decline to 8.7 from the 40-year high of 9.1. Let's see if that works out later. But the core rate is forecast to increase to 6.1 from 5.9. Higher than expected data will increase pressure on the Federal Reserve to sanction a more aggressive rate hike at the September meeting. So this is a big number we're looking at this afternoon. St. Louis Fed President Bullard stated that it's too early to claim that inflation has peaked, even if there is limited relief in the headline figure. Bank of England Deputy Governor Ramsden stated that the further increases in interest rates were likely, although he also stated that it was possible that an economic downturn would lead to rate cuts next year. Wishful thinking, I think, Ramsden. The headline July Norwegian inflation rate increased to 6.8 from 6.3, and compared with consensus forecast of 6.3, with the underlying rate of 4.5 from 3.6, and also notably above expectations of 3.6. So that's the headlines. We're going to dive straight into charts. I'm going to take a look at Bitcoin. So we're in this corrective channel formation, and we'll bring it up on the daily chart. We've got a 21-day moving average, which we've dipped below this morning, but managed to fight our way back. So one of the formations we can look at, this topping formation we see here, a little bit head and shoulders like, but the neckline is very, very steep. So I'm not going to draw it in here, but really just highlighting the fact that a break below 22,400 would be pretty bearish and could enter in to the next wave lower. As you can see, resistance held, no close above the 24,000 level. Well, since all the way back 12th of June. That was the last time we closed above that level. So looks like this is going to be under pressure. However, if we look at the 4-hour chart, we can see this has happened a number of times in the past, where in this channel we've dipped below the 4-hour Ichimoku cloud, which is basically the trend, shows you the trend on that 4-hour chart. Dip below it and managed to fight our way back on a number of occasions. Will we do the same here? Posting a lower high is not a great way to start it. So let's move on to commodities. Taking a look at gold, that continues to sort of like push higher. We managed to get up to $1,800 yesterday. This is a resistance level, which is just mainly a psychological resistance rather than technical, but they all count when they work. 1815 and 1830 above there is resistance. We've managed to get up to that $1,800 level and paired back overnight, got back down below the 1790 level, got down to 1787.5 on gold. That's where I would see initial support, then the real support coming in at 1783 on gold. Obviously resistance at 1800. Silver, it's much the same in silver. We've managed to push higher, got up to levels we haven't seen for a while, 2074. You have to go all the way back to around about the sort of like late June time to see them sort of levels. Resistance coming in at 2074. We've started to post lower lows, so again, a little bit of a sell-off from that initial spike up high yesterday. Probably all oil related. Let's take a look at crude oil. Sorry, probably all dollar related. Let's get our words out. Crude oil under pressure still. Managed to get down to 86.39. Let's have a look on the daily chart what that looks like. We've broken through this support that we were holding 92.27. We managed to actually push our way up there today. We've got oil inventories out later, so watch out for that. That'll cause some volatility. We managed to get up to just below $92 yesterday. 92.27 we highlighted as resistance, so still just in front of there. Posted a doji candle, so that's not a great sign for oil longs, and we've had some follow through downside this morning. So levels to watch there, really. The low, which we've just bounced from 86.40, and that $92 level, that would be the resistance. 21-day moving average coming in a bit higher, around a $94. Take a look at Forex now, quickly whiz through this. Eurodollar daily chart, slightly positive yesterday, 2 positive days we've had, that's great. And that's probably, as I say, the dollar's sold off slightly. That's probably a reason why the commodities have held up. And yeah, we've got this nice little trend line, 21-day moving average. Is this going to help form some sort of base? I think it's a little bit of a timing issue. We've got a bit of a triangle formation coming here as well. Very sort of like a small one at the moment, but we can see it's a ascending triangle if we really take it as this being the triangle, that sort of thing there. So get rid of that one. Ascending triangle. That has a tendency to break lower, obviously, but yeah, if we manage to hold above the 102.70 area and close above there, then that would be significant. Haven't closed above there since 4th of July, Independence Day. Sterling dollar, similar sort of formation, a little bit lackluster really in cable yesterday. Formed another doji candle, so a bit of indecision after this little sell-off, managing to hold on to the support at the 21-day moving average, so that's a positive. The measured move target for this inverse head and shoulders was way up at 123.37. Still has that on the table. Support coming in around about the 120 level, again another psychological level. We can see on the dollar index, slightly negative, but not really much to phone home about. Resistance now coming in at this 21-day moving average. That's around about 106.70. Support coming in just above the 105 figure on dollar index. And dollar yen, we're again below the 21-day moving average. High, or the resistance level just in front of that is 135.55, and support below coming in at 130.47. Quick look at indices before I hand over Jamie and he can run us through a few stocks. We've got the DAX had a decent sell-off yesterday, bearish engulfing for this. Looks like a nice potential topping formation, although this morning's sell-off has bounced back quite quickly. So let's see if we manage to close lower than yesterday's close, then we could be seeing some sort of topping formation here. Support coming in the form of a previous swing low, 13,345, and also the 21-day moving average, 13,290. Resistance that we filled a gap with that shooting star. So I think under pressure again, the indices, especially the European side of things. And we looked at S&P yesterday, didn't we? That was my gun-to-head trade idea, which I think ended up slightly on side, but hasn't really done a huge amount. Support coming in at 4,100, and below that at 4,077. The 21-day moving average just above the 4,000 level. Resistance, a solid resistance coming in at 41.85. Yeah, I'm happy with that. Jamie, do you want to take on the stocks, unless there's any quick questions on I've just gone through.
No, I think we're good on the question front for now. So I'll start looking at some stocks. First up, I'm having a look at our biggest gainer and loser of the day. Our biggest gainer is Phase, a technology service, internet software service. I think they do lots of different gaming bits as well. But this has had a really nice move upwards, up 42% yesterday. You can see price was getting nice and tight around this breakout area. The volume really dropped off as well, which kind of to me signaled perhaps a bit of a breakout in that direction. We saw this move yesterday. Like I say, volume's up pretty heavy, so a nice 42% move if anyone saw that. The flip side of this, we've got MEGL, Magic Empire Global Limited, which looks like it IPO'd on the 5th of August. That would have been Friday, wouldn't it? Had a not a bad start, but I mean down 89% just yesterday alone. So from opening at $237 on Monday to closing at $12 on Tuesday is pretty rough going. So be careful. Well, it's too late to be careful on that. You're either in a good spot or in a bad spot. We'll have a quick look at the heat map. I mean, there's nothing too much standing out for me there. Technology service seems to be down a bit at the moment, but it was pretty flat across the board. Nothing really standing out. Nike down 3%. What's this over here? We've got CRM down. You know, nothing too crazy. Obviously, not had too much volatility in the market the last few days in some of the bigger names, but we look at some of the meme stocks like AMC, still doing their thing. Obviously, we cited that this had a bit of a squeeze yesterday. Day before yesterday, and then yesterday we did have a bit of a sell-off, but nothing too much to look at there. AMD is testing. I did have some annotations on this. Let me quickly redraw them, but it's retesting a reverse trendline support which we had coming down here, something like that. They've come on now. Brilliant. Thanks for that trading view. There it is. Retesting that. Seems to have had a bit of buying support found there. We'll see if we do get a bit of a move higher or we continue to sell off. GME, kind of similar stuff to AMC. Obviously, we had that nice squeeze come through, got all the way up to about $47, right into this previous resistance before selling off, and then a bit more of an extended sell-off yesterday, closing down 7% on the day. Meta Platforms, one day we'll get a breakout of this channel, which is actually, I think, TradingView's sick of this channel, same as me. It wants to see something happen, so it's actually just deleted it. It will probably appear in a couple of minutes, but we'll leave that. Moderna down pretty heavily, and I think this is because of the big news, which was Novavax, which seemed to have an earnings miss. Let's have a little look. Yeah, missed on earnings pretty heavily by the looks of it, down 29% on the day. You can see the volumes really start to pick up as well. We've got a lot of heavy red volume days. This obviously stock we've looked at for a fair while. I think it's still got a fair bit of room to move lower on this, Steve. Obviously, we just had this gap open, but looking over here, we've got this gap open, which is all the way back at, where did we close there? About 24.55. So certainly room to move lower, and the price action to me is still looking very, very bearish. So 30% down yesterday on that earnings. I don't think there's too much else to look at. If we just quickly have a look at the change in percentage, see if there's anything else notable. Upstart was down. Looks like that had earnings yesterday, down 11%. Coinbase, we've seen the volatility in Coinbase recently. That was down 10.55%, and that looks like it reported earnings as well yesterday after close. So let's see if we get any more information here. Nothing too crazy. Looking at the price action, closing at 82.90 after hours. So coming back to potentially fill this gap we have here. Other than that, I mean, it was mainly a bit of a red day across the board, but you know, nothing really standing out other than that Novavax earnings miss. So we will wrap it up there. Short and sweet on the stocks today, but yeah, we'll call it there.
Lovely, thanks, Jamie. So this is the part of the show that we do our gun to head challenge. We can have a quick look at what we did yesterday, and then we can dive into the charts. Myself and Jamie will pick a live trade idea on air, and we have to place a stop on a target. It expires at 9 o'clock, so whether it's trading at 9 o'clock, that would be the performance, or whether it hits the target or stop, that would also be marked to market. All ideas are placed at market. Trade ideas expire at 9. Performance is on a spreadsheet. Joe does all the spreadsheets, so we'll put all that together. We also place these live on our Trading View channel, just so there's a note of them. We can't do any funny business or yeah, so and we've got quite a decent performance going on them, but I haven't got the sheet up to show you. Take my word for it, and Joe will show you the sheet next week. Jamie, have you got anything yet?
Yeah,
I've sort
I'm
of
happy to
know what I'm
go.
going for, but yeah, you go ahead. Go on
Yeah.
if you're ready.
Okay. Yeah, I'll start. To be honest, it wasn't a lot I loved having a little flick through the charts this morning, but the one thing I was looking at was silver. Obviously, this had a really, really strong move upwards off this kind of triple bottom pattern we've had here. We saw the breakout back at the end of July, and that led to this really strong move, a bit of a consolidation before another big move. That was that Monday? I think it was Monday. And what we're seeing now is a flag type pattern after we had this breakout above this resistance, and we're back at this previous resistance, which hopefully will now become support. So yeah, just looking to continue this nice move we've seen on silver, looking for a move to the upside. So we're going to buy this at current price, which is 2030, we'll call that 2040, we'll round it up. 2040. We can keep the stop pretty tight, but I don't think it needs to be that tight. I might give us a little bit more room to breathe. We'll go just below this strong looking candle here. So that will be the stop loss at, oh, there we go. Stop loss at 2024, and we'll put the take profit up at 2089, which gives us a 3.06 risk reward if we do get that move upwards today. So hoping for this bullish run on silver to continue.
Nice one, Jamie. Yeah, I'm sort of with you on that. I like that trade idea. I'm not going to. I was looking at gold maybe potentially, but yeah, I'm going to have a little bit of a snoot around. Obviously, we've got oil out later. It all feels a little bit negative on oil still. I can't shake this negativity off. So what have we got in oil? We've got this sell-off, and we keep getting these like inverse head and shoulder formations, and again it sort of seems to be lower highs. So overall oil remains negative in my eyes. So I'm going to, or despite the volatility we'll get later, it's definitely something to look out for. I'm going to go for further downside in oil. I'll have to put a tight stop on this though. Maybe bring it in to 90, 52. Give it a little bit of room. And further lows. So it's only a 2-to-1 risk reward strategy. You know me, I like to be a bit aggressive with this. The stop will be pretty tight. Ideally, you'd place your stop above the $92 level. But I'm really sort of like looking for some, some sort of little bit of value out of the risk reward. So that's my trade idea. I'm selling oil at 89.02, targeting a move to 86.02, $3 move, and with a $1.50 stop. So that's me done.
Yeah, I like that. I was having a look at that myself, but I decided to go silver. So
Yeah,
fingers crossed.
I feel the stop's a bit tight, especially with the oil inventories out. However, I think it was last week or the week before I watched, and the oil inventories didn't really have that much volatility, but you never know with oil.
Yeah.
So the day ahead, 1:30 US consumer prices. Watch that. That's a big one. US EIA crude inventories, as we said, 3:30, and I've still got the US consumer prices on there, but we are August the 10th now. And on Friday, we got UK GDP and the University of Michigan consumer confidence. So all things to look out for coming towards the end of the week. So it's been short and sharp this week. And I'd love to sort of like answer your question. Meet allies. I'm looking on gold short. How do you see it? Yes, gold short. It's quite at quite sort of decent levels. 1800 is a significant, is a psychological level only. We tested that yesterday. I'd be a bit wary of it. Still feel there's maybe a little bit of dollar weakness out there. And the CPI this afternoon will have an impact. So watch out for that. It's all on that CPI. Resistance above 1815 and 1830, and plenty of room down below. So that's a quick recap of gold. Thanks for joining us, and we'll have a bit of a longer show tomorrow if I manage to get out of bed on time.
Thanks everyone for watching.
Take it easy. Cheers.
Bye.